know what? Oh, there we go. Uh, so hello everybody and welcome to Project Ami, our Ami Exchange, where we will talk about two of our Ami projects and how you might be able to use them in different museums. So we'll start by talking a little bit about what Project Ami is. For some of you, that will be old news. You already know what it is. But for those of you who don't know what it is, we'll take a second to explain it. Part one, let's intro in the chats. We chatted a little bit already before this, and so feel free to go ahead and chat with each other in the Zoom about who you are, what you're looking for. And then we're going to talk about these open source games. We'll stop recording and then we'll talk about more about you and what you're working on and how we might be able to help you with what we have built for Project ME. So on our side, there's three of us. So I'm Kelly and Adams Pletcher from Fable Vision Studios, as you can see behind me. And we have with us Michaela Blazer from the Museum House Constructif, who is also our friend at Ami.com. Michaela helps us organize all this wonderful stuff and is part of our core crew. And then Fatia Berkner, who is the heart of Project Ami from the Max Kohler Foundation. And we together have all been working on uh, these immersive, interactive prototypes for the last 3 years. We're on year three right now. Fatih, do you want to talk a little bit about it? These are your slides, and I love it. No, okay. Well,
Okay,
I'll
go ahead. So we're in one flow. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. No
Yeah.
problem. So, as you guys have figured out, I'm from the United States, and there are lots of really wonderful game and interaction designers in Switzerland. And so it's not that you cannot find a game and interaction designer in Switzerland, but it's more that a foreigner sort of comes to the table with a different perspective. And that was what we were playing with as we were designing together this idea of how can we approach this from a different angle. And what we really wanted to do more than anything was to build a community. And as we always say, a community begins with friends. And as we're so happy to see Judith here, and and now whenever Michaela and Fatia show up, I'm just so happy to see them because they're just friends and friendly faces, and we have a common goal and people with a common heart, and so it's wonderful to work together to do something that we care about. And we've really built some incredible things in the last 2 years. It's been exceptional how far we've been able to get with our community. We're focusing on a phased approach, which means, again, perspectives, right? Because when I went to Switzerland, the thing that I was very surprised about was that they were building very big, expensive projects first, rather than building small projects that they would test and get into a larger project. And so that was the perspective I think that I brought to this project. So we decided to start small, these prototypes, things that are not perfect, things that start in some variation of broken, and then you test and test and test, apply for the next round of funding, apply for a larger round of funding. And then when you finally get the final product, this product has been tested and it is really ready to go. So we decided to go through this process very quickly. We set 30-day deadlines to escape the perfection trap. And you might say 30-day deadlines are crazy, and they kind of are. But we were able to build some really wonderful projects in only 30 days. And I hope we proved to a lot of educators and curators and uh, just artists and interpreters in Switzerland and in the United States as well that you don't have to build something perfect in order to get started. And so we built 20 30-day prototypes, and now we want to share those guys with you. All of our prototypes are playable, and all of our prototypes are something that are a base to build other things off of. All of our prototypes were tested, both within the museums with other people that work in the museums and also outside of the museums. And we created partnerships with 8 different museums, 6 Swiss and 2 American. And we are growing those partnerships now. And so recently we have built a partnership with the New London Museum in Baltimore in the United States, but also oh, I'm going to forget. The Mazzi Museum in Ticino is running one of our games. And now we're talking to the Bündner Kunstmuseum in Chur, which is very exciting. So, like having games in Ticino and Chur, I think is just a really wonderful outcome of this project. So enough of that. I'm going to talk about 2 of our games. And as you guys may or may not know, we have 20 of these. We have 20 interactive game-based prototypes, and all of them are open source, and you can use any of them. Now, I want to warn you ahead of time. Some people look at this and say things like, oh, we could not use this because it's paper and we need a digital version. Or we could not use this because it asks questions and we don't need it to ask questions. But I want you to know that everything that we've built, these are prototypes. So this is the beginning of a project. It's the base that you can build off of. And with every new museum, we've found new variations on these different projects based on what they need. So let's talk first about categories, which is a game that we did with Creaviva and the Paul Clay Center. And this was a big team that we worked with. They wanted to create a digital mobile gallery game. And the idea is that you go into the gallery, you look at works of art, and you try and place them in categories. And this was a little bit like the New York Times's game Connections, where you kind of try and make connections between these physical objects. It's about 2 to 10 minutes to play through it. People play it with one device and maybe 1 to 5 people, and it's really best for permanent collections. So actually, Lillian and Lynn, this might be a good fit for the permanent collection at the Museum Tongolay. Because this is the type of thing that, it's not great for the quick trips or exhibits that are moving fast. You want to build it in. And it's very good for closer looking, and it's very good for discussions. So it lets people find the similarities between things. This was also interesting because this team needed a paper prototype before we could do the physical prototype. And that means 2 things. First of all, it means it's really good to paper prototype things before you do a digital prototype, but it also means that you can very easily have a physical version of this game. So if you are interested in this format for a game, but you have zero Wi-Fi, which is something that we're doing with Wunder Kunstmuseum right now, where they said, we love this game. We have zero Wi-Fi. We can never do a digital game. We said, no problem. You can do a card-based version of this same game. And it's still the same game. It'll be every bit as good. And you could do a card-based version of categories as well. So let's let Beat Glarner, who's the director of Creaviva right now, talk about the game himself.
Hi everyone, welcome to
So,
Creaviva.
first of all, can you hear it? Can you hear Beat talking? Yes, great. I'm going to make it larger, and I'll let Beat chat about it.
The interactive art education space in Zentrum Paul Klee, Bern in Switzerland. My name is Beat Glarner. I'm the co-director of this wonderful institution, and today I will introduce you to the game Categories. Please follow me to the exhibition room. We are here in the exhibition of the collection of Paul Klee. And how the game works is very simple. You choose a category, let's say triangle. Then you simply wander through the exhibition looking for paintings where you can see triangles in it. Once you found a painting, you type in the number and it will show you if your answer is correct or not. What I personally really like about this game is that even though it's played on a digital device, you are not focusing on the screen. You have to go through the exhibition and look at each painting face to face. We have tested this game with families, with school classes, with adults, with the curation team, and we have received a lot of positive feedbacks. But you may ask, why categories? Well, the answer is very simple. Paul Klee used to have a cat, so that inspired us to give the name categories. If you have any questions about the game, please don't hesitate to contact me. See you soon in Creaviva.
There we go. So I could never describe it better than that. He did such an incredible job. So um one thing that I really liked about this game that I thought was fun is first of all, we built this game in a way that it's in the browser, so it will automatically translate. Your browser will translate it to your language. So this is in German, but when I play it, it's in English. But I thought this was really fun is that we said, um, you guys say object ID. We would say accession number, right? And that's an interesting part about an art museum is what is an object ID and how do you find it? How do they actually categorize art within a museum? And so this is sort of a little bit of a game within the game, because while we are categorizing these pieces of art, the museum is also categorizing these pieces of art with their object IDs. Yeah, so if you have any questions about that, oh no, I'll fix that. It says IE, but it should have said categories. If you have any questions about this game, please give us a holler. Again, these games are very flexible, so if this particular game isn't just right for you, that's okay. We can make changes to it because we have the base code for it. We have the base design. So there's a lot of places that we can go with this wonderful game. And also, please, if you're curious about it, reach out to Beat at Creaviva and Paul Klee because they've done a really wonderful job designing it and sharing it, testing it with their visitors. So let's move on to one more. Let's talk about It's Complicated, which is a timeline game. I have to say, I have a weakness for history museums. I love a good history museum. So when we got to work with the Landesmuseum, who has both art and history, a national museum that has a little bit of everything, it was really exciting to work with them. So what we built for these guys, it's a digital mobile gallery that lets visitors move events into a timeline while answering questions about the object that they're looking at. Now, I will say this is a secret weapon. This is what I like to call a workhorse game because even though the game itself it seems very simple, this is a very uh, flexible code. The code can be used for all sorts of things. And so when people ask me for games, often they ask for a game that has a very similar structure. This game has that structure. And so we'll be able to use this open source code to make a lot of other games that you might want to create much more flexible and less expensive. And it also does this really cool little thing of letting you place objects on a timeline. And so it's a digital mobile game. Though you can absolutely play this game with cards. About a 30-minute playthrough, good to 1 to 5 players. I think it's best for permanent collections. This could be used for historical topics, but there's no reason why you can't use this for an art museum, right? Because as you're going through an art museum, think of somebody like Tongale, right, whose work from the beginning of his career was very different from the end of his career. And it's not necessarily chronological throughout the gallery. And so as you look at a piece, you can sort of guess when in the timeline this piece of art was created. Uh, so here we are testing this wonderful game. Again, we had a paper prototype version of this game that I really liked. The version that I built asked visitors to find the objects first. We're currently working with the New London History Museum in Baltimore, Maryland, and they're using it as a way to sort of set the scene for the rest of the objects in their gallery. And so they're going to have it as a kiosk and not necessarily a mobile game where you sort of run around and find things. They're going to ask you to make guesses, you know, like based on what you see in front of you, when do you think this happened in the timeline? And again, this is a very successful kind of game. And what does they say that good artists copy, great artists steal? This is a game that has been stolen in many different variations. Moving things into a timeline is just a really nice way to give people a baseline. And Judith, I really hope that this is something that you guys can use for the National Museum out in Luxembourg, because it's just such an open and useful format. And so it's a mobile game. It runs in a web browser. Do you want to play? Yeah, I figured what the heck, right? Ooh, are you ready? I'll do it in German. We'll see what happens. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's very small because this is optimized for a mobile phone, but it's on a computer. So the question that we asked is, why are there so many languages in Switzerland? And the answer, of course, is complicated. So we'll start by saying, what is the official language of Switzerland? And there are four answers. So go ahead, guys. What do you think they are? I'll help you out, Joan. So we've got Swiss German, French, Spanish, Icelandish, German, English, Romansh, and Italian. What do you guys think?
German.
German. Okay, there we go. Correct. Yay. Yeah. Judith? Joan? Lillian? Yes, thank you. Very good. Very good. This is easy for you guys.
So
But what do you
Red Romanisch.
There we go. Retromanisch. And we're working right now with a museum in Chur where they speak Retromanisch. So I'm so excited to hear what they do. And one more. Joan, can you guess?
I mean, it could be English, it could be Italian.
It's not English.
Either.
It is Italian.
I didn't think, I thought English was going to be like thrown in there, but I said I was geared with I'm thinking, oh, okay, the Alps, you know.
Right, there we go. Yeah, you're right. See, you know some geography there. Yeah, it's tricky, right? And
Thank you.
yeah, if you're not Swiss, this is not a question that you know the answer to right away. Um, and so we are going to say that there are 5 objects in the Ausstellung, which you are going to take a look at that will help you figure out why this is the case in Switzerland. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the Constitution, the Swiss Constitution, and we're going to put that on the timeline. Okay, so we've got 1 dot on the timeline. So where do you think we should put it? We'll put it on the 1 dot. Yay, we got it. It was 1848. That one was really easy. So now we're going to go and find it. And this one, we're going to find the object in the 18 to 1900 room. Like we said, in the New London version of this game, they don't want to put it mobile and they don't want people walking around. So we'll change it just a little bit. It'll be on a kiosk. So we'll just change the language. All right. So what was the first name of the Swiss Republic? Any ideas? We've got the Helvetica Republic. We've got the I do not know how to translate this, guys.
Swiss Federation.
Swiss
Okay.
Federation. I like that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. We've got Eichhornchen, which I think means square.
Well,
Okay, and Roger Federer. All right. What do you guys think? I'll give you a hint. It's not Roger Federer. Anybody? No, this is good.
Freie Helvetische Republik.
Okay. No.
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 Okay, and it's
The
the second one.
Eidgenossenschaft.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, and so then it asks you to find your next object, and you're going to put this next object in the spot. Now, if we were playing it, then we would actually be able to see this lovely thing. But this you can kind of see in the corner. And what do you think, guys? Do you think this comes before 1848 or after 1848? Where in history do you think that object comes? Guesses? Anybody? Do I see it again? Ready?
I think it's kind of middle age. So
Right?
before.
Is that middle age look? Okay. Before. There we go. All right. And then it says, yes, this was from 1500 to 1600, and then you go and you find it. And we're going to ask you some more questions about it. And this is how this game works. And so we don't necessarily need to play the entire thing all the way through. But I will give you the link, and you guys can play with it afterwards. Oh, and I've got the wrong one. Give me just a second. There we go. That's where I want to be. Yeah, so we can send you this link and you can play through it. But there's really a lot that you can do with this particular game. And that's really all I've got today. So we can stop recording and we can chat. So I'm going to stop my share.